Hey, what's up, studs, and welcome to Ask. I'm on episode 296, a series where I answer your question. If you have a question or topic for next week's episode, leave in the comment section below. Hit the like button while you're there, and let's get into it with our first viewer question from Saul Goodman.
Did you know that you have rights? The Constitution says you do.
Who says, why do you think there has only been one MandR set? I thought the show was so good, and I love the set that we got from it. Do you think that we could see more? So, looking at it in hindsight, to me, it's kind of obvious why we only got one MandR set now, as sad as it is. When MandR came out, it was essentially in the same year as the Book of Boba Fett, Obi-Wan Kenobi, and then MandR following those up. And if you're Lego and you're looking at what can we make sets for these shows, there's also the Bad Batch that they released a set for in the same year with the Justifier. When you look at Kenobi, Boba Fett, and Andor, of those three characters, I know looking in hindsight, the quality of the show, obviously Andor was the best of the three shows. But if I'm coming into it, I'm looking a year ahead. I'm like, yeah, I'm going to make the products for Boba Fett. I'm going to make the products for Kenobi over more products for Andor. And of course, again, a little something for Bad Batch for the animated people. So it took me a while to realize that, but that is probably why there was and has only been one Andor set. They just thought it would be the least popular of the Star Wars shows that was coming out that year. And that's a pretty reasonable take given the big names attached to the other ones. They just said, no, the other ones are going to be bad shows relative to Andor. You can never say never as far as Lego Star Wars going back to do more random sets or scenes from shows like Andor. I think especially one that might age as well as Andor, there's a really good potential that they will in a year or two go back and do that. I doubt, given how successful season one was or how much people liked season one, that they would only do one set again. So fingers crossed for the future there, but in hindsight, I think we have a pretty good rationale as to why there was only the one set with Ambush on Ferrix. Next question from Kits Brick says, if you could create the most cursed Lego Star Wars release wave, what would it look like? I guess I'm choosing from previously released sets. So for the lower price end, we're definitely going with the Jedi and Clone Troopers battle pack. For the buildable character, I know they don't do them anymore, but I'm creating the most cursed thing I can. We're going with the Jyn Erso buildable figure. And shout out to those of you maniacs who are going to the Toys R Us and I think the Mall of America and finding Jyn Ersos on, this is like fresh old stock because it's being put on a new store shelf at Toys R Us, like reopening in Mall of America next to all of the other like 2023 Lego Star Wars sets. It's crazy to see. At the next price bracket, even though I think I talked a few weeks ago about how I've done a total 180 on this set, the first order ATST I think would fit in most people's mind around a $40 or $45 price tag these days. The buildable Yoda is an excellent choice at the $100 price tag, is a very cursed looking set. The Justifier at the high end of our big cursed summer wave here for sure. That thing is just a monstrosity. I like it, but definitely fits the cursed vibe for I think a lot of people. Jay Williams says, what is the weirdest Lego set that you have ever seen or owned? I'm gonna go with what I owned, but there's a lot of weird stuff out there from Belleville, Jack Stone, you name it. There's a lot of weird old Lego themes that some of you guys might not be aware of, but from my collection, I have the Galador Nick figure. This is a Lego product. It might not look like it, but it is. Now on the back of the box here, they show off tons of other weird Lego characters. Oh, it's the Lego Star Wars designer, Jens. I didn't know he was on there. This was what Lego was trying to do. This is why Lego almost went bankrupt before Star Wars and Bionicle bailed them out. Like, I'm not, like, this is actually what was happening in that company. It was absurd. Now, you're probably wondering why I owned this. I bought this because I thought it would be cool to have, like, a sub-collection of, like, weird Lego items. Like, one of, like, the most cursed weird Lego item from each weird theme that they've done in history. So I have this. I have a Lego, what was that theme? Video set. Like, just kind of the worst of the worst from Lego. I thought it would be kind of a cool collection to have. But I've kind of decided not to do that anymore, so I think I'm going to be selling this on my end-of-year whatnot sale. But yeah, for now, I do own it, and it's pretty wild looking. Won't be reviewing that one. Next question from Craig says, do you think there's a chance we get an MTT in 2024 for the anniversary of The Phantom Menace? So a couple of things to unpack here. First off, we had a leaked image of the AAT polybag actual bag. I know we've seen the set with the white background, but on the actual bag, there's a 25th anniversary logo for The Phantom Menace, which does mean they are really kind of leaning into the anniversary. It means that they're actually putting it on the product. That's something they did not do for the Obi-Wan Starfighter in 2022 for the 20th anniversary of Attack of the Clones. So I do think that that means there's a little something more than just the one set maybe that we saw for Attack of the Clones. And we already know that because of the rumors. We know we have the AAT polybag that we have the picture of. We know that we have the Droideka build and the Mos Espa diorama. So we're at least at 3 sets for the Phantom Menace already. And I think when you start the first half of the year off, which is typically smaller stuff on an anniversary year with something like that, it's definitely going to lead into something bigger. I think that there should be an AAT playset. The trend for the last 4 or 5 years now has been that every polybag Lego Star Wars has released has ended up being a bigger Lego Star Wars set within the year. Last year, it just so happened that the X-Wing was the UCS X-Wing, but for every year prior, it was just a smaller playset. So I expect a tan AAT playset, and I think a brown MTT is probably the most likely for next summer. I would love to see, I put out on Twitter that because of this battle pack, I think the best matchup, at least with the current January set out, right, would be the Clone Wars MTT. But assuming we get a tan AAT over the summer, then the matchup is kind of like less relevant with this set. You can do either the brown MTT or the Clone Wars MTT. Personally, I think I'm kind of 50-50 on this. I like the look of the brown MTTs from Lego a lot, but they've never done a Clone Wars MTT outside of the polybag from 2012, so we're not really counting that towards what we're really looking for here for next summer. And so I could go either way personally. If I'm leaning towards what I think they'll do because of this anniversary logo, you know, if you asked me 2 weeks ago, I'd be like, yeah, Clone Wars MTT is more likely. But now because of this anniversary logo, and I really think they're going to go with a tan AAT over the summer because of the polybag thing that we've had going on for the past 5 years. So the MTT almost feels like a free space for my bingo card in 2024 for the Phantom Menace sets. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but I think there's a lot of stuff pointing in MTT's direction towards it being very likely that that would happen next year. Drew says, has Lego ever made a dark Anakin, not Darth Vader, more like the scene with the Padawan learners? I think I know what mock you're trying to make, but this has basically been done, I want to say, and Palpatine's arrest is probably the closest that we've had, where he's got like the yellow Sith eyes. The other one that comes to mind, I don't think it's as cool as that one, was the one from the 2012 Anakin's Jedi Interceptor. So there's a couple of really cool kind of dark side Anakin feeling figures out there. I think there's a really good potential in 2025 with the anniversary that they're going to do a Palpatine's arrest diorama, and fingers crossed we see an upgraded version of that Anakin from 2012. You just never know with Lego these days. It could very easily be a downgrade, reuse, lazy figure. But, you know, if we see an improvement there, we're going to be eating pretty good with that Anakin figure in 2025. So there's a lot to be excited for there if that's what you're waiting for. Otherwise, I think that one from the Palpatine's arrest is rather expensive. I do not think it's cheap. It does exist, just not necessarily affordably. Next question from Andrew says, any predictions or leaks for anniversary figs? So it's hard to predict given we don't really know how hard Lego is leaning into the anniversary figure thing. But as far as leaks go, there has been one that's kind of been flying under the radar recently. We obviously know about 5 in the Tantive hallway. We know about Darth Malak coming in the $100 R2-D2, but there has been word that there's going to be, this is not a good fit. I'm not excited about this one. Young Leia. You know, like, okay, it's a figure we never had before. It's a figure we probably wouldn't get otherwise, but it's like not exciting at all to me. So, you know, it's just another different figure. I don't know. I'm looking for the silver lining.
Do you see
silver lining? There's some kind of buzz about a Mon Mothma. I think that'd be more exciting, but I'm pretty sure it's young Leia just based on the sources that I've seen talking about it. It's another like variant of a figure that we don't already have and probably wouldn't have gotten otherwise, which do fit like my main criteria for being either like a polybag or anniversary figure. Like I think from that perspective, it's absolutely a good thing to just have exist. It's just not a very exciting thing. So maybe the figure will look really dope and I'll be excited about it, but her character in the Kenobi show was not that exciting, and it was there was like the worst scene I have probably ever seen in Star Wars was adult human, or I guess like adult aliens chasing a like 9-year-old little girl through a forest planet, and they run up to a tree that's like, I don't know, waist height, and they can't get around it. Oh my god, that type of stuff, dude. What were they doing? Fire Exo Hunter wants to know if I think super battle packs are going to completely replace the smaller battle packs, and he wants to know if you should get the new battle pack since it's going to sell out fast. You should not buy something just because it's going to sell out fast. First piece of advice there, Lego always restocks. This is not the shoe market. But also, you shouldn't buy it just because it's going to sell out. Buy it because you like it. If you watched my review and you liked everything you saw, then buy it. If you watch my review and you didn't like what you saw, then don't buy it. I think that's pretty straightforward. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But anyway, do I think that sets like this are going to replace sets like this? And the answer is no. But I think the reasoning why is quite interesting. So the 501st Battle Pack was the first Super Battle Pack that we saw back in 2020. And this is an improvement on that concept. The reason this set exists is because this set exists and fans wanted to see this concept improved upon. And then Lego basically was like, yeah, we could just combine all our original battle packs and make one big battle pack here, okay? We're all over the place. We got so many things going on. You just can't get rid of like one-off battle packs like Death Star Troopers. So like Death Star Troopers, Jawa Troopers, Mandalorian Troopers. Like you just don't do super battle packs with these. It doesn't work. It doesn't make a lot of sense. And so, you know, one-off battle packs are going to continue to exist because Lego's not just going to forever give up doing weird random things from time to time just so they can do clone troopers and battle droids every time, you know? It's just not what I foresee happening. Until I see more than 4 figures in one of these sets, I wouldn't even consider the idea at this point because I think there's a pretty big commonality here. Hopefully that's the right word. But you have 4 clone troopers and you have 4 clone troopers. And it's very important to know that Lego does not consider, whether you or I consider battle droids and the super battle droids minifigures or not, Lego does not call battle droids and super battle droids minifigures. As far as, I guess, the legality of it goes, they just aren't minifigures, right? And so I think that's a really important part here because Lego, for whatever reason with Star Wars, will only put in so many figures per set price, per part count. I don't know what the line in the sand is there, but I think when you look at certain sets at certain prices, it's pretty obvious that they've kind of got a stepping ladder. I literally think that Lego Star Wars is not allowed to put that many figures in a set of this size at this price point, whatever the reasoning is, whether it's contractual, whether it's something that they have decided for themselves with Star Wars specifically, because there are sets from other themes that get that many figures in different price points that are pretty low, close to this, whatever. I don't know if I worded it the absolute best, but those are my basic 2 reasons that these will not completely replace sets like this or even just regular battle packs. Drew Jeffries wants to know, is there actually a Lego Star Wars Hoth Rex? Help us clear up the air on this, as I've seen multiple sellers and whatnot reference the figure as Hoth Rex. So, is a figure Captain Rex or not? Well, does he have a beard and does he look old? And if he does, the answer is yes, at least for many Lego Star Wars fans. Technically, no, there is not a Lego Star Wars Hoth Rex. The MandR Rex kind of has received the same treatment over the years. I don't know if it's officially canon or not yet, or if it's just fan canon that the guy with the beard on MandR is Rex, or people think he's Rex or whatever. But certainly the one for Hoth is not Captain Rex. He just has a beard, and so people will call him Captain Rex. I think the rationale, there's 2 reasons that this happens. Basically, one, just fans are excited to see a guy with a beard that they think might be one of their favorite characters, but also when money's involved, you can kind of get the idea that it's being done to like make you think that it's a more valuable thing by attaching the name of what is otherwise a valuable figure to it. So I would just be cautious of that. But no, I would not consider that Hoth Captain Rex or Captain Rex in any sense of the imagination. It's just a figure from the Hoth UCS set in 2016 that has a beard. So yeah, I think that's what's happening. So, you know, no, I would say no. I would just say no. Potato says, did you ever notice there are 2 slightly different windshield pieces used for the official images of the Freako Speeder set? Any idea as to why this is? So no, I don't think I have ever noticed this, so it's a fantastic catch by you. However, I can answer this one for you very easily. After I looked at it, I immediately knew what it was. So around this time, they were changing over from the old windscreen piece to the new windscreen piece. The main difference just being that the base of it has a lot more grip strength for the newer windscreen piece. And so they wanted to use that, I guess, for all sets going forward. They just, I guess at the time that they took the picture, because this was back in the days that Lego took physical pictures of their product. And so maybe they didn't have the piece 110% ready in production when they took the images for the product. That's my only guess, but it's literally just that they hadn't ended up swapping the piece on that preliminary version of the set that they used to take the picture. And obviously in the set, they had the more final piece. I have all 3 sets in my clone army that I've had forever. They have the exact piece that you're talking about that is not the piece in the original picture, but it's the actual better upgraded piece for 2010. The box I was going to use for you is here in the garage, so never mind about that. Oh well, there. I thought it might be down here, but it was up there. Dang it. Anyway, last question from user says, will you be doing any live streams soon? So yeah, if you haven't been watching the channel for a long time, I used to live stream myself building Lego and stuff all the time. I just don't really do that as much anymore, but I will be actually doing a live stream on December 27th. I'll schedule it on the channel soon with an exact time, but probably in the afternoon sometime. It'll probably be a long stream anyway, but December 27th is actually the anniversary of my channel. This will be the 13th anniversary of this YouTube channel, and I'll have been on YouTube total between both my channels about 14 and 3/4 years at that point, which is is pretty absurd. But what I'm going to do on that stream is I am going to rewatch and react to all of my old update videos. So one of the big pillars of Lego Star Wars YouTube content in the early days, or at least for maybe the first decade, was update videos. A lot of people do update videos, and I did about 120, 130 of them. So we're just going to go through, watch them, have a good time, react to them. Who knows what I said 10, 12 years ago? There's just all sorts of like weird things we might find out about, 14-year-old me. So I'm kind of excited about that. So that was my live stream idea for my anniversary. So if you guys want to be there, just check it out on the channel, but that's going to be the next live stream I do. Anyway, that is all for today. If you have a question or topic for next week, please leave in the comment section below. And I hope you guys have a fantastic Christmas or whatever it is you celebrate this time of year. And I'll see you again on December 26th or in a video in between. Bye.